Hot damn, I am excited for today's video. Why, you might ask? Because I get to show you guys how to take your Rotoboss Talon and turn it into a Talon Pro. This kit not only promises to double your steps per rotation, but it also has so much torque, it can take a man built like a linebacker and turn him into the most dainty ballerina you ever did see. If I didn't know him any better, I would have assumed that the 3 words preceding that stunt were, "Hold my beer." But I didn't even tell you the best part yet. Oh my gosh. So you get all of the performance and you only got to spend 200 bucks. 200 bucks. Like, seriously, I have spent more on a Nerf gun. Enough chit chat though. We're not here to discuss my wise financial decisions or my wife's poor decisions in general. In today's video, I'm going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to turn your Talon into a Talon Pro. Welcome to the Laser Nerd. So, before we jump into it, I do want to say that I was sent this kit to teach you guys how to convert it over to the Talon Pro. And here is that new bracket and housing. Oh my gosh, I love that red anodized aluminum with those machined beveled edges. It's become a signature staple of Rotoboss. Moving on to the tools that you'll need. I personally always use one of these. It's a simple screw holder. I 3D printed this one, but you can find them anywhere. You'll also need a set of Allen wrenches or hex keys. These are the parts that came with the kit. It's a small toothed idler. You'll also have received a belt if this camera will ever focus. Moving on to the actual deconstruction of your original Talon. Go ahead and take a 3mm Allen key and remove the head unit. You just pop off these 2 screws. You don't even have to take them all the way out. Just loosen them a little bit. It'll pop right off. Next, we're going to remove the stopper on top using a 2.5mm Allen key there. I actually had to speed this part up because it turns out it takes me forever to unscrew things. Moving on to the motor now, we need a 4mm Allen key. Start off by removing that side thumb screw and then go through and remove all 4 bolts from the motor to be able to take it off. When you do take it off, you'll also have that small bracket on the side. You'll need that, so set it aside. Now we actually get to work on our Talon Pro. Grab your Pro and pull off the 4 screws on the front that hold that plate in place. From here, go ahead and flip your mount over because we're going to mount the motor back. This is one of the larger motors. There is also the original smaller motor that I have on my other Talon as well. It doesn't really matter, they'll both go on the same way. Don't forget to include that thumb screw bracket on the side. Make sure that that's bolted all the way through using those longer 4mm screws. Now that our motor's mounted correctly, let's flip it over. We're going to throw on our small toothed idler. This should slide directly onto the motor shaft. You'll be able to use the open slot in the top of the Pro to slide a 2mm hex key through and tighten it down. A small note here, make sure that your idlers are flush with one another. If one is lower, then it will not allow your belt to move straight. It will cause your belt to wear a little bit faster, so just make a small adjustment and raise them so they're the same height. And from there, we're just going to mount our belt onto our toothed idlers. You also want to make sure you raise the loose idler in the center so that way it's on the belt as well. I love this part as well. It just shows how much attention to detail they take when creating these products. On top is a 3mm hole that is threaded. You take a 3mm screw, you go ahead and screw it on in, and it will apply tension to that center pulley, which will apply tension to your belt. Now, you don't have to have your belt extremely tight, just fairly tight. You just want it to be able to put some pressure on those teeth so that way your belt can grip and it doesn't skip. Now that it's all mounted, we just want to do a little bit of a functions check. Give that sprocket a manual turn to make sure that everything's moving correctly and everything feels good. From here, we're going to mount our push button back on. It goes on the same way that it went on your original Talon, so nothing too complicated. Then we're going to mount our head. Using the same way that we took it off, just grab your 3mm Allen key and tighten the screws down on each side. Now that those two screws are tightened down, we can throw that front plate back on. It's two purposes: one, decorative, and two, it'll actually protect your gears and your belt and all of that from getting really nasty and dirty depending on what you're engraving. Once that's all mounted up, you can throw your thumb screw back on. And we're going to go ahead and put the plates back in to mount directly to the Galvo breadboard. Make sure that thing's nice and snug. We don't want that going anywhere. And voila, your Rotoboss Talon Pro is looking good and ready to make you extremely high detailed engravings. Okay, so now that we've upgraded our Talon to the Talon Pro, we need to teach Lightburn exactly how to use the Talon Pro. So head over to Lightburn and jump into your rotary settings. As you can see, we're set up for the chuck. All of that stays the same, except we're set up for the Talon at 12,800 steps per rotation, and we get to double that to 25,600 steps per rotation, which is insane. Cannot wait to see how that works. The thing is, we used a gear reduction in order to get to 25,600. So when we double that, we actually also need to double all of our speeds. So head on down here, increase your minimum speed to 1,000, your max speed to 6,000, your acceleration to 200, and your return speed to 6,000. If you don't do this, you're going to notice that your rotary is turning extremely slow because now it's half of the movement that your Talon originally was. So putting these details in is going to be key to ensuring that your rotary operates exactly how it's expected to. And that's it. You're all set up with your Talon Pro. The only question is now, what are you going to engrave first? For more awesome laser content, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a like. If you want a Talon Pro of your own, head over to rotaryattachments.com and check out their wide range of products while you're there. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you nerds later. See ya.